20 oldest Black actresses who are surprisingly still alive. Forget everything you thought you knew about Hollywood royalty. While the history books were busy playing favorites, these 16 women were busy dismantling a system that was never built for them. We aren't just talking about actresses, we are talking about architects of a revolution. From the forbidden grit of blaxploitation to the historic EGOT heights of Broadway, these icons fought through segregation industry, blacklisting, and systemic erasure to become the undisputed blueprints of modern greatness. If you think talent alone got them here, you are dead wrong. It was pure, unadulterated defiance. Before we reveal the legends who forced the world to change its tune, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. Join the movement at Black Excellence Legends, because if we don't tell our history, nobody will. Are you ready to meet the queens who paved the way? Angela Bassett. Angela Bassett stands as a titan of American cinema, a performer whose very name evokes images of strength, dignity, and unparalleled craft. Born in 1958, she honed her formidable skills at the Yale School of Drama, a foundation that granted her the technical precision to inhabit any role with haunting intensity. While many stars fade as the decades pass, Bassett has achieved a rare evergreen status in Hollywood. She doesn't merely act, she commands the frame utilizing a signature mixture of muscular physicality and profound emotional vulnerability that leaves audiences breathless. Her career is a masterclass in versatility. Most famously, her transformative portrayal of Tina Turner in What's Love Got to Do With It remains one of the most celebrated biographical performances in film history, earning her an Academy Award nomination. Yet she refused to be pigeonholed. From the steely determination of Betty Shabazz in Malcolm X to the matriarchal majesty of Queen Ramonda in the Black Panther franchise, she has consistently chosen characters that reflect the complexity and beauty of Black womanhood. Her recent Golden Globe win and Oscar nomination for the Marvel Cinematic Universe prove that her star power is only intensifying with age. Beyond the silver screen, Bassett has become a pillar of television through the American Horror Story anthology and the high-octane drama 911. Her voice is unmistakable, resonant, authoritative, and warm, making her a sought-after narrator and activist. Now in her late 60s, she remains a fitness icon and a beacon of professional longevity, proving that a Black woman in Hollywood can remain a leading lady, a producer, and a cultural force indefinitely. Angela Bassett is not just surprisingly alive. She is thriving, dominating the industry with a grace that suggests her greatest acts are yet to come. Marla Gibbs. Marla Gibbs is a living testament to the idea that it is never too late to redefine your destiny. Unlike many of her peers who started in their teens, Gibbs didn't achieve national stardom until her mid-40s, a timeline that makes her enduring presence in 2026 even more miraculous. Born Margaret Teresa Bradley in Chicago in 1931, she balanced a career as a United Airlines reservations agent while pursuing acting in small local theaters. This grounded real-world experience gave her the sharp observational wit that would eventually define her career and turn her into a household name. Her breakout role as Florence Johnston on the legendary sitcom The Jeffersons remains a pinnacle of television history. As the sassy, back-talking maid who held her own against the blustery George Jefferson Gibbs didn't just provide comic relief. She represented the voice of the working class with dignity and a razor-sharp tongue. Her performance was so magnetic that it earned her 5 consecutive Emmy nominations and led to her own successful spin-off in subsequent starring vehicle 227. In the latter, she took on a dual roles, lead actress and executive producer, a groundbreaking feat for a Black woman in the 1980s, solidifying her influence behind the scenes as much as in front of the camera. Now at 94 years young, Gibbs continues to defy the typical expectations of aging in the entertainment industry. She remains remarkably active, making recent guest appearances on popular dramas and comedies, proving her comedic timing is as rhythmic as ever. Beyond acting, her legacy is cemented through her jazz singing and her long-standing commitment to the Black arts community in Los Angeles. Marla Gibbs is more than just a survivor of Hollywood's shifting sands. She is a trailblazing architect of Black joy and resilience, continuing to radiate a warmth and vitality that continues to inspire fans across multiple generations. CCH Pounder. Carol Christine Hilaria Pounder, known professionally as CCH Pounder, is a powerhouse of the performing arts whose career is defined by an unparalleled intellectual depth. Born in 1952 in Georgetown, Guyana, and educated in England, she brought a sophisticated cosmopolitan sensibility to American Hollywood. Pounder is the quintessential actor's actor, a performer who doesn't just play a character, but constructs a complex psychological architecture for every soul she inhabits. While many performers rely on Flash, Pounder relies on the weight of her stillness and the piercing intelligence of her gaze, making her one of the most respected figures in the industry today. Her filmography is a sprawling landscape of prestigious projects, but she is perhaps most synonymous with roles of immense authority. As Detective Claudette Wims in the gritty police drama, The Shield, she delivered a masterclass in moral integrity, earning multiple award nominations for portraying a woman navigating a corrupt system with a steel-trapped mind. She transitioned seamlessly into the blockbuster realm, providing the emotional and spiritual heartbeat of the Omaticaya clan as Mo'at in James Cameron's Avatar franchise. Whether she is playing a forensic pathologist on NBCIS New Orleans or a grieving mother in a small, independent film, Pounder imbues her work with a gravitas that feels both ancient and contemporary. Beyond her cinematic triumphs, Pounder is a distinguished patron of the arts and a passionate advocate for global representation. Her personal life is as rich as her professional one. She is a renowned collector of African art and has been instrumental in founding galleries and supporting emerging artists. Now in her early 70s, she continues to work at a prolific pace, demonstrating that true longevity comes from a relentless curiosity and a refusal to be categorized. CCH Pounder remains a vital commanding force, reminding us that the most powerful instrument an actor possesses is a keen mind and an unwavering commitment to the truth of the human condition. Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey is more than a household name. She is a singular phenomenon who redefined the landscape of global media and philanthropy. Born into systemic poverty in rural Mississippi in 1954, her ascent to becoming the first Black female billionaire is a saga of radical resilience. While the world first fell in love with her through The Oprah Winfrey Show, which dominated daytime television for 25 years, her cinematic contributions are equally profound. Oprah possesses a rare, raw acting instinct, a spiritual transparency that allows her to channel the pain and triumph of the human experience with an authenticity that cannot be taught. Her film debut in 1985 as Sophia in The Color Purple remains one of the most powerful introductions in Hollywood history, earning her an Academy Award nomination. In that role, she embodied a defiant strength that echoed the struggles of generations of Black women. Throughout the decades, she has been selective with her roles, choosing projects with immense cultural weight, such as The Haunting Beloved or the historically significant The Butler. Behind the scenes, her influence is even more staggering. As a producer and the head of Harpo Productions, she has been the invisible hand, guiding dozens of Black-led stories to the mainstream, ensuring that diverse voices aren't just heard, but celebrated. Now in her early 70s, Oprah's legacy continues to evolve far beyond the Queen of All Media title. She has transformed her success into a monumental engine for social good, from founding leadership academies to her relentless advocacy for education and mental health. Her presence in 2026 remains a stabilizing force in a fragmented media world. Oprah Winfrey didn't just survive a difficult upbringing or a demanding industry, she mastered the art of connection. She remains a living monument to the power of one's own story, proving that the greatest legacy is not the wealth one accumulates, but the millions of lives one empowers to speak their own truth. Pam Grier. Pam Grier is a cinematic revolutionary who single-handedly dismantled the archetype of the damsel in distress. Emerging in the early 1970s, she became the face of a movement proving that a woman could be a fierce action hero without sacrificing her femininity or charisma. Born in North Carolina in 1949, Grier possessed an electric screen presence that was both dangerous and alluring. She didn't just participate in the blaxploitation genre. She elevated it, becoming the first woman of any race to headline an action blockbuster. Her characters weren't waiting for rescue, they were the ones delivering justice, usually with a signature combination of wit, grit, and a concealed weapon. Her legacy is anchored by iconic roles in Coffee and Foxy Brown, where she portrayed self-reliant women taking down corrupt systems. These films were groundbreaking, offering Black audiences a reflection of power and agency during a time of significant social upheaval. Decades later, when Hollywood seemed to have forgotten its pioneers, Quentin Tarantino crafted Jackie Brown specifically as a love letter to her talent. Her performance as the titular flight attendant was a masterclass in nuance, showcasing a weary but resilient wisdom that earned her a Golden Globe nomination and revitalized her career for a new generation. Now in her mid-70s, Pam Grier remains an enduring symbol of cool. Her influence stretches far beyond the cinema. She is a trailblazer who cleared the path for every female action star who followed from Sigourney Weaver to Viola Davis. Outside of film, she is a passionate advocate for animal welfare and a rural lifestyle, living a quiet life that stands in stark contrast to her explosive on-screen personas. Pam Grier is not just a survivor of a fickle industry. She is a sovereign icon who defined a new standard of strength, reminding us that true power comes from the courage to stand your ground and fight for what is right. Janet Jackson. Janet Jackson is far more than a member of a musical dynasty. She is a sovereign architect of sound movement and visual storytelling. Born in 1966, the youngest of the legendary Jackson family, Janet spent her childhood under the bright lights of television, appearing on shows like Good Times and Different Strokes. However, it was her decision to take control of her career in the mid-1980s that forever altered the trajectory of pop and R&B. While her musical accolades, including 5 Grammy Awards and dozens of chart-topping hits, are staggering, her contribution to cinema and television remains a vital, often understated part of her enduring legacy. Janet's film career is marked by a raw, emotional vulnerability that stands in striking contrast to her high-energy stage persona. Her starring role in John Singleton's Poetic Justice 1993, alongside Tupac Shakur, showcased her as a serious, dramatic actress capable of portraying a grieving woman finding her voice through poetry. She later demonstrated her range in the blockbuster comedy The Nutty Professor, To the Clumps, and her poignant, intense performances in Tyler Perry's Why Did I Get Married films. On screen, Janet possesses a quiet intensity and a magnetic gaze that compels the audience to look deeper, proving that her artistry is not limited to the rhythm of a dance floor. Now in her late 50s, Janet Jackson remains a global icon whose influence can be seen in every major pop performer of the modern era. Beyond the entertainment world, she has used her platform to address themes of social justice, mental health, and female empowerment. Her resilience in the face of immense public scrutiny and her ability to reinvent herself decade after decade have cemented her status as a survivor and a leader. Janet Jackson is not just a witness to Hollywood history, she is one of its most influential creators, continuing to inspire with a grace and a creative fire that burns as brightly as ever in 2026. Phylicia Rashad. Phylicia Rashad is often referred to as the mother of the Black community, but that title only scratches the surface of her profound impact on American culture. Born in Houston in 1948 to a creative and academic family, Rashad's career was built on a foundation of discipline and high art. While the world recognizes her most for her iconic role as Claire Huxtable on The Cosby Show, Rashad did something revolutionary. She presented a Black woman who was simultaneously a high-powered attorney, a loving mother, and a sophisticated partner. She redefined the sitcom mom from a caricature into a paragon of intellectual elegance, influencing how millions of people viewed Black family life and female authority. However, Rashad's heart has always beat most strongly for the theater. A true luminary of the stage, she made history in 2004 as the first African-American woman to win the Tony Award for Best Actress in a play for her breathtaking performance in A Raisin in the Sun. Her theatrical work is a masterclass in breath posture and emotional economy. She possesses an uncanny ability to convey a mountain of meaning with a single arched eyebrow or a moment of heavy silence. Whether she is performing Shakespeare or August Wilson, Rashad brings a regal gravitas that elevates the material and commands absolute reverence from her audience. Now in her late 70s, Rashad's influence has expanded into leadership and mentorship. Serving as the dean of the Chadwick A. Boseman College of Fine Arts at Howard University, she has dedicated herself to nurturing the next generation of truth-tellers. Her recent film work, including the Creed franchise, shows an actress who has embraced aging with a luminous beauty and a sharpened craft. Phylicia Rashad is not just a survivor of the industry, she is its conscience. In 2026, she stands as a living monument to the idea that professional longevity is earned through excellence, integrity, and a soul-deep commitment to the arts. Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi Goldberg is a singular force of nature who shattered every aesthetic and cultural barrier Hollywood ever erected. Born Corinna Lane Johnson in 1955, she emerged from the gritty, avant-garde theater scene of New York and San Francisco with a rebellious spirit and a comedic voice that was entirely her own. Whoopi didn't fit the industry's traditional mold of a leading lady, so she simply created a new one. She is a pioneer of the one-woman show, a format where her shape-shifting ability to inhabit diverse characters first caught the eye of Steven Spielberg, leading to her cinematic debut as Phylicia in The Color Purple. That performance, a masterpiece of silent suffering and ultimate triumph, remains one of the most soul-stirring debuts in film history. Whoopi's career is defined by its refusal to be predictable. She can pivot from the heartbreaking drama of a civil rights activist to the zany, high-concept comedy of a lounge singer hiding in a convent in Sister Act. Her crowning achievement came in 1990 with Ghost, where her portrayal of the psychic Oda Mae Brown balanced spiritual gravitas with impeccable comedic timing. This role secured her an Academy Award, making her the first Black woman in 50 years to win in an acting category. Furthermore, she is a member of the elite Uggams circle, winning an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony, a feat that solidifies her as one of the most accomplished entertainers in the history of the performing arts. Now in her 70s, Whoopi remains an essential cultural commentator as the moderator of The View. Her presence in 2026 is characterized by a refusal to stay silent on issues of social justice, human rights, and the preservation of artistic integrity. She has navigated the highs and lows of fame with a trademark dreadlocked look and a candid, no-nonsense attitude that has made her an icon of authenticity. Whoopi Goldberg is not just a survivor of the entertainment industry, she is a revolutionary who proved that being yourself is the most radical and successful act an artist can perform. Loretta Devine. Loretta Devine is an actress whose very voice, a unique blend of melodic sweetness and gritty strength, has become a comforting fixture in American entertainment for over 40 years. Born in Houston in 1949, Devine's journey began in the world of high-stakes theater, where she earned her place in history as part of the original Broadway cast of Dreamgirls. As Laurel Robinson, she helped create a cultural blueprint for Black female vocal groups, establishing a standard of performance that combined vocal dexterity with profound emotional truth. Devine is a rare artist who carries the discipline of the stage into every television and film role, infusing even the smallest characters with a rich lived-in humanity. While she is a legend of the theater, Devine became a household name through her masterful work in ensemble dramas. Her portrayal of the kind-hearted but firm teacher Marla Hendricks in Boston Publican earned her widespread acclaim, but it was her recurring role as Adele Weber in Grey's Anatomy that solidified her status as a dramatic powerhouse. In that role, she navigated a heartbreaking arc of Alzheimer's disease with a dignity that earned her an Emmy Award, proving her ability to move audiences to tears without ever leaning into melodrama. On the silver screen, she has been the backbone of classic films like Waiting to Exhale and The Preacher's Wife, often serving as the emotional anchor that holds the story together. Now in her mid-70s, Loretta Devine remains as prolific as ever, seamlessly transitioning between sitcoms, voice acting, and independent films. Her presence in 2026 is a reminder of the power of consistency and kindness in a demanding industry. She is an actress who chooses roles that celebrate the warmth, complexity, and spiritual resilience of Black women. Beyond her craft, she is a mentor to young performers and a beloved figure among her peers. Loretta Devine is not just a survivor of Hollywood. She is its warm, beating heart, continuing to grace our screens with a vitality and a signature laugh that remains as infectious as it was on her opening night on Broadway. Jenifer Lewis. Jenifer Lewis, universally hailed as the mother of Black Hollywood, is a force of nature whose career is a high-octane celebration of talent, resilience, and unvarnished truth. Born in 1957 in Kinloch, Missouri, Lewis began her journey as a powerhouse singer on Broadway, earning her stripes as one of Bette Midler's iconic harlots. This apprenticeship in the world of high diva performance granted her a theatricality that is both grand and deeply intimate. Lewis does not simply enter a room or a frame, she occupies it with an electric energy that demands attention, making her one of the most recognizable and beloved character actresses in the history of American television and film. Her filmography is a sprawling testament to her versatility, though she is most celebrated for her matriarchal roles. Lewis has played the mother to nearly every major black star in Hollywood, from Whitney Houston to Angela Bassett, yet she never plays the same woman twice. Her characters are a vivid spectrum of strength, humor, and wisdom. However, it was her long-running role as Ruby Johnson on the hit sitcom Blackish that introduced her brilliance to a new generation. As the sharp-tongued, fiercely protective grandmother, Lewis balanced comedic absurdity with moments of profound, heart-earning, critical acclaim and cementing her status as a comedic titan. Now in her late 60s, Jenifer Lewis's legacy has transcended entertainment to become a beacon of mental health advocacy. Her courageous transparency regarding her journey with bipolar disorder has dismantled stigmas and saved lives, proving that her greatest role is that of a truth teller. In 2026, she remains a vibrant, indispensable figure, often sharing her wisdom and infectious joy through social media and literature. Jenifer Lewis is not just a survivor of a demanding industry, she is its vibrant spirit. She reminds us that to age with grace is not to grow quiet, but to amplify one's voice, using every bit of accumulated wisdom to light the path for those who follow. Diana Ross. Diana Ross is the ultimate blueprint for the global superstar. Born in Detroit in 1944, she became the beating heart of Motown as the lead singer of the Supremes, a group that didn't just top charts, they integrated American airwaves and defined the aesthetic of 1960s elegance. While her musical achievements are monumental, her transition to cinema was a seismic event that reshaped Hollywood's perception of black leading ladies. Ross possesses a cinematic luminosity that is ethereal yet grounded. She has a rare ability to project both untouchable glamour and a raw, trembling, emotional intimacy that captivates the lens. Her 1972 film debut, In Lady Sings the Blues, remains a gold standard for biographical performances. In portraying the legendary Billie Holiday, Ross avoided mere imitation, instead delivering a haunting, visceral performance that earned her an Academy Award nomination. She followed this triumph with Mahogany, where she not only starred as an aspiring fashion designer, but also influenced the film's iconic costume design, further cementing her status as a global style authority. Whether she was playing Dorothy in the cult classic The Wiz, or a woman struggling with mental illness in the telefilm Out of Darkness, Ross infused every role with a sophisticated vulnerability that remains her trademark. Now in her early 80s, Diana Ross continues to radiate a legendary energy that defies the conventional limits of time. In 2026, she stands as a living monument to the diva, in its purest sense an artist of supreme talent and unyielding professional standards. Beyond her hits and box office successes, her legacy is found in the path she cleared for every black woman in entertainment who dares to dream of total creative sovereignty. Diana Ross is not merely a survivor of the Golden Age. She is its most glittering ambassador, continuing to perform with a supreme grace that reminds the world that true star power is an infinite celestial flame. Alfre Woodard. Alfre Woodard is widely regarded by critics and peers alike as one of the most gifted and versatile actors of her generation. Born in Tulsa, Oklahoma in 1952, Woodard possesses a quiet, simmering intensity that has made her an indispensable pillar of American cinema, television, and theater for over 4 decades. She is a quiet revolutionary in the industry, an actress who eschews the flashy trappings of stardom in favor of a rigorous, soul-deep commitment to the truth of the human condition. Woodard does not merely perform a role, she inhabits it with a gravitational pull that forces the audience to confront the most intimate corners of the character's psyche. Her career is a staggering collection of accolades, including 4 Emmy Awards and an Academy Award nomination for her heartbreaking turn in Passion Fish. Whether she is portraying the historic resilience of a pioneer in Roots the Next Generations, the moral complexities of a political figure in Luke Hammond, or the quiet dignity of a woman facing systemic injustice in Clemency Woodard, brings a regal composure to the screen. She has a rare ability to communicate volumes through silence, using her eyes and the subtle shift of her expression to tell stories that words often fail to capture. Her presence in a project acts as a seal of quality, a guarantee that the narrative will be handled with the utmost respect and intellectual rigor. Now in her early 70s, Alfre Woodard remains a formidable force in 2026, continuing to choose projects that challenge social norms and highlight marginalized voices. Beyond her artistry, she is a dedicated political activist and a co-founder of Artists for a New South Africa, using her platform to fight for global human rights and equality. Woodard represents the enduring power of the character actor, elevated to the status of an icon. She is not just a survivor of a changing Hollywood landscape. She is one of its most vital architects, proving that the most sustainable form of celebrity is built on a foundation of undeniable talent and unshakable integrity. Jackée Harry. Jackée Harry is a force of nature who injected a new kind of electricity into the American sitcom. Born Jacqueline Yvonne Harry in 1956 in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, she began her professional journey as a serious theater actress, debuting on Broadway in the musical A Broadway Musical. This classical training gave her a technical precision that she later used to subvert expectations in comedy. When she landed the role of Sandra Clark on the 1980s hit 227, she didn't just play a character, she created a cultural icon. With her signature breathy voice, impeccable fashion, and razor-sharp wit, Jackée became the show's breakout star, proving that a Black woman could be unapologetically glamorous, hilarious, and feminine all at once. In 1987, Jackée made history by becoming the first African-American woman to win the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Comedy Series. This was not just a personal return, it was a monumental breakthrough for Black women in television, shattering glass ceilings that had existed for decades. She parlayed this success into a prolific career, becoming a staple of 1990s television as the beloved Lisa Landry on Sister Sister. Her ability to balance broad physical comedy with moments of genuine maternal warmth made her a household name across generations. Whether she is appearing on a sitcom, a daytime soap like Days of Our Lives, or a stage production, Jackée brings a unique vibe that is entirely her own, vibrant, sassy, and eternally youthful. Now in her late 60s, Jackée Harry remains a powerhouse of industry longevity. In 2026, she is celebrated not just for her past triumphs, but for her continued relevance as an actress who bridges the gap between old Hollywood glamour and modern comedic sensibilities. She has embraced her status as a legend while remaining remarkably accessible to her fans through social media and new projects. Jackée is a survivor who never lost her sparkle. She is a trailblazer who showed the world that Black joy and comedic brilliance are timeless. She remains a living testament to the power of personality, proving that when you lead with authenticity and humor, the world will always keep watching. Leslie Uggams. Leslie Uggams is a rare luminary whose career spans the entire evolution of modern American entertainment. Born in 1943 in New York City, she was a child prodigy who began performing at the age of 6, standing alongside giants like Ethel Waters. While many child stars struggled to transition into adulthood, Uggams executed it with a flawless, regal composure. She possesses a voice of extraordinary clarity and a dramatic range that feels both effortless and deeply intentional. In 1969, she became a pioneer as one of the first Black women to host her own variety series, The Leslie Uggams Show, breaking racial barriers during a period of immense social transformation in the United States. Her legacy was forever immortalized in 1977 through the landmark miniseries Roots, as Kizzy Reynolds Uggams delivered a performance of searing emotional depth, portraying the resilience and heartbreak of an enslaved woman fighting to maintain her dignity and heritage. This role earned her an Emmy nomination and established her as a premier dramatic actress. However, Uggams has always refused to be defined by a single medium. A true queen of the stage, she won a Tony Award for Best Actress in the musical Hallelujah Baby, proving her mastery of the Broadway spotlight. Her ability to command a live audience with a song is as potent today as it was 5 decades ago. Now in her early 80s, Leslie Uggams has achieved a delightful cultural resurgence, introducing her sharp wit and seasoned talent to a new generation. Her role as Blind Al in the Deadpool franchise showcased a brilliant comedic timing that surprised and charmed modern audiences, proving that her artistic flame is as versatile as it is enduring. In 2026, she stands as a living bridge between the golden age of variety television and the blockbuster era of today. Leslie Uggams is not just a survivor of the industry. She is a trailblazing architect who showed the world that a Black woman could be a singer, a dramatic lead, a variety host, and a comedic icon, all in one lifetime, maintaining a level of grace that remains the gold standard of show business. Sheryl Lee Ralph. Sheryl Lee Ralph is a quintessential force of nature, a performer whose career serves as a blueprint for artistic longevity and the power of believing in one's own worth. Born in 1956 in Waterbury, Connecticut, Ralph was raised in a household that valued education and elegance, a background that infused her with a regal confidence that became her trademark. She burst into the collective consciousness in 1981 as the original Deana Jones in Broadway's Dreamgirls. Her performance was a masterclass in poise and vocal brilliance, earning her a Tony nomination and establishing her as the definitive leading lady for a new generation of Black performers. Ralph didn't just sing, she embodied the glamour and struggle of the climb to the top. While many might have faded after such a monumental stage success, Ralph pivoted to film and television with strategic grace. She navigated the 1990s as a beloved television fixture, most notably as the sensible and sophisticated stepmother Dee Mitchell on the hit sitcom Musha. However, Hollywood often overlooked the true depth of her range until the 2020s when she experienced a career renaissance that captivated the world. Her portrayal of Barbara Howard, the veteran God-fearing kindergarten teacher on Abbott Elementary, finally brought her the widespread critical acclaim she had long deserved. Her 2022 Emmy win and her powerful singing acceptance speech became an instant cultural landmark, reminding everyone that believing is possible. Now in her late 60s, Sheryl Lee Ralph is at the absolute peak of her powers. In 2026, she stands as a beacon of professional resilience and an activist for health and education, particularly through her long-standing work with HIV/AIDS awareness. She is an actress who brings a divine energy to every frame, utilizing her seasoned craft to portray characters with dignity, wit, and a formidable spirit. Sheryl Lee Ralph is not just a survivor of a fickle industry, she is a victor who played the long game and won. She continues to inspire millions, proving that your best chapters can often be written decades into your journey as long as you never stop showing up for your own greatness. Irma P. Hall. Irma P. Hall is a miraculous anomaly in Hollywood, an actress who found her greatest fame not in the blush of youth, but in the wisdom of her senior years. Born in 1935 in Beaumont, Texas, Hall spent over 25 years as a dedicated public school teacher in Dallas, teaching languages and creative writing. It wasn't until her late 30s that a chance encounter with a film scout led to her first role. This decades-long immersion in the real world granted her a profound, earthy authenticity that cannot be manufactured. Hall doesn't just act, she exhales the lived experiences of generations, bringing a grounded spiritual weight to every frame she occupies. Her ascent to become the matriarch of Black cinema reached its zenith in 1997 with the film Soul Food. As Big Mama, the glue holding a fractious family together, Hall delivered a performance so resonant that it earned her an NAACP Image Award and solidified her status as the heartbeat of African-American family narratives. She later displayed her formidable range in the Coen brothers' The Lady Killers, where she held her own against Tom Hanks with a comedic sharpness and moral authority that won her the special jury prize at the Cannes Film Festival. Hall possesses a rare ability to portray ordinary women with extraordinary dignity, making the domestic sphere that feel as epic as any battlefield. Now at 90 years old, Irma P. Hall remains a cherished treasure of the entertainment industry. In 2026, she is celebrated as a living testament to the power of the late bloomer, proving that the human spirit only grows more vibrant with age. While she has slowed her pace, her influence remains immense. She is the foundational grandmother to a generation of actors who look to her as a model of grace and professional integrity. Irma P. Hall is not just a survivor of the industry's shifting tides. She is a steady guiding light. She reminds us that true art is not about the speed of the ascent, but the depth of the roots one plants along the way. Viola Davis. Viola Davis is widely considered the premier actor of her generation, a performer whose intensity is so profound it feels elemental. Born in 1965 in St. Matthews, South Carolina, and raised in significant poverty in Rhode Island, Davis's journey is a saga of radical self-belief. A graduate of the Juilliard School, she spent decades honing her craft on the stage before becoming a global household name. Davis does not simply act, she excavates. She is known for her willingness to be unsightly vulnerable and devastatingly honest, stripping away the vanity of Hollywood to reveal the jagged edges of the human soul. Her career is a historic march of excellence. In 2023, she achieved the prestigious EGOT status, winning an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony, a feat that places her in the most elite circle of artists in history. Her Oscar-winning performance as Rose Maxon in Fences is a masterclass in domestic endurance, while her role as the formidable Annalise Keating in How to Get Away with Murder redefined the leading lady on television as someone complex, dark, and brilliantly flawed. Whether she is leading an army in The Woman King or battling systemic racism in The Help, Davis brings a physical and emotional weight to her roles that commands absolute silence from her audience. Now 60 years old, Viola Davis remains at the absolute zenith of her influence in 2026. Beyond her acting, she is a titan of production through her company Juvie Productions, which focuses on giving a voice to the voiceless and creating narratives for people of color that go beyond traditional tropes. She is also a powerful memoirist and advocate for hungry children, using her platform to ensure that the struggles she faced in her youth are not repeated for the next generation. Viola Davis is more than a survivor of a difficult industry. She is its reigning sovereign. She proves that when talent is met with an unbreakable will, the result is a legacy that changes the very fabric of culture. Denise Nicholas. Denise Nicholas is a luminous figure who bridged the gap between the civil rights movement and the mainstream success of Black actors in Hollywood. Born in 1944 in Wilmington, Delaware, her journey began not in front of a camera, but in the heart of activism. As a member of the Free Southern Theater during the 1960s, she performed for audiences in the rural South using art as a tool for social change. This foundation of purpose gave her a unique gravitas. When she finally transitioned to television, she brought with her a profound sense of dignity and an intellectual sharpness that was revolutionary for the era. She became a household name and a pioneer for representation through her role as guidance counselor Liz Regewa on the hit series Room 222, 1969 to 1974. At a time when Black women were often relegated to domestic roles, Nicholas portrayed a professional, educated, and compassionate leader, earning 3 consecutive Golden Globe nominations. She later solidified her legacy in the 1990s as councilwoman Harriet DeLong in the television drama In the Heat of the Night. In this role, she navigated a complex interracial romance with a nuanced maturity that broke television taboos, proving that her presence could anchor even the most sensitive and challenging narratives. Now in her early 80s, Denise Nicholas's impact has expanded far beyond the screen into the world of literature. She successfully transitioned into a distinguished author, with her novel Freshwater Road being hailed as one of the finest fictional accounts of the civil rights movement. In 2026, she stands as a beacon of the multi-hyphenate artist and actress, writer, and activist who refused to be confined by Hollywood's narrow expectations. Denise Nicholas is not just a survivor of a changing industry. She is an intellectual architect who helped build the modern landscape of Black excellence, proving that a career built on integrity and substance is a career that never truly fades. Ernestine Jackson. Ernestine Jackson is a luminary of the American stage, an actress and singer whose career represents the gold standard of Broadway excellence. Born in 1938 in Corpus Christi, Texas, Jackson's journey was fueled by a classical vocal foundation that allowed her to navigate the demanding world of musical theater with unparalleled precision. She emerged during a transformative era for Black performers, proving that a woman of color could lead major productions with a sophisticated mixture of vulnerability and steel. Jackson is not merely a singer. She is a dramatic storyteller who treats every lyric as a profound monologue, a quality that has earned her the enduring respect of the theatrical elite. Her legacy is anchored by 2 monumental Tony Award nominations that showcase her extraordinary range. In 1974, she captivated audiences and critics alike as Ruth Younger in the musical Raisin, an adaptation of Lorraine Hansberry's seminal play. She brought a weary yet hopeful dignity to the role, capturing the soul of a woman striving for a better life for her family. Later in 1977, she delivered a masterclass in comedic timing and vocal power in the revival of Guys and Dolls, portraying the long-suffering Miss Adelaide. By reimagining a role traditionally played by white actresses, Jackson shattered racial casting barriers and proved that talent knows no color, forever changing the landscape of Broadway's classic repertoire. Now in her late 80s, Ernestine Jackson remains a vital, albeit more private figure in the arts community in 2026. Her presence is a reminder of a time when the triple threat acting, singing, and dancing was a prerequisite for stardom. Beyond the footlights, she has been a dedicated educator, passing down the nuances of her craft to a new generation of aspiring performers at universities and workshops. She has also made meaningful appearances in film and television, such as in The Roots: The Next Generations, bringing her theatrical gravitas to the screen. Ernestine Jackson is more than a survivor of a fickle industry. She is an architect of representation who used her voice to build a bridge for every Black performer who now walks the boards of Broadway with pride. Debbie Allen. Debbie Allen is a singular dynamo who redefined the boundaries of what one artist can achieve. Born in 1950 in Houston, Texas, Allen was a victim of systemic segregation early in life, notoriously being denied entry to the Houston Foundation for Ballet. This rejection did not break her. It ignited a fire that would fuel a 6-decade career as a dancer, choreographer, director, producer, and actress. A graduate of Howard University, Allen possesses a kinetic energy that is both disciplined and explosive. She became a global phenomenon in the 1980s as Lydia Grant in the television series Fame, where her opening monologue, "You want fame, well, fame costs. And right here is where you start paying," in sweat became the definitive anthem for aspiring artists everywhere. While she is a world-renowned dancer, Allen's most profound impact on Hollywood is as a master builder behind the camera. She broke the glass ceiling for Black female directors, helming episodes of legendary shows like A Different World and Grey's Anatomy, where she also stars as the formidable Catherine Fox. As a director, she is known for her decisive vision and her ability to marry artistic flair with logistical precision. In 2021, she received the Television Academy's Governor's Award, a testament to her indelible contribution to the medium. Yet her heart remains in mentorship. The Debbie Allen Dance Academy in Los Angeles stands as a living sanctuary for young performers, ensuring that the doors that were once slammed in her face remain wide open for the next generation. Now in her mid-70s, Debbie Allen remains a whirlwind of productivity. In 2026, she is celebrated as the matriarch of movement, an artist who has never stopped evolving. Whether she is choreographing the Academy Awards, producing socially conscious documentaries, or portraying complex women on screen, she brings a fierce, joyful excellence to everything she touches. Debbie Allen is not just a survivor of a competitive industry, she is its most tireless engine. She remains a living reminder that true power is not found in fame itself, but in the sweat, the discipline, and the unwavering courage to tell your own story through every step you take. We have journeyed through the lives of 16 titans, from the revolutionary grit of Pam Grier to the multi-hyphenate mastery of Debbie Allen. These women didn't just occupy space in Hollywood, they built the very foundations upon which modern excellence stands. However, every legend brings a different flavor of greatness to the table, some through the power of a silent gaze, others through the thunder of a song or the precision of a dance step. As we close this chapter, the floor is yours. If you had to choose just one woman from this list whose legacy fundamentally changed the world for the better, who would it be, and why? Is it the commercial dominance of Janet Jackson or the intellectual dignity of Phylicia Rashad? Let the debate begin in the comments below.